What's happening, people? Welcome back to the channel. It is very early in the morning, 7 o'clock, and we've been on the train for a couple of hours. We've already seen some harrowing sights, which I'll put here. Just to give you a rundown of what we are going to be doing, we'll get to King's Cross at about 8:30. We're going to go link up, you can tell it's early. I've not had enough fucking line of Copper Joe, mate. So we're going to meet up with Joe Addy. He's a really good sort of friend of mine. Me and him sort of met each other at Fashion Week at the Salon show in London about a year ago. Really cool guy, but because I live in the north and he lives down south, I just don't get to sort of really hang around with him. So what we're going to do is we're going to link up with him. We're going to go have some more coffee, because I'm not going to lie, that hasn't touched the fucking sides, to be honest with you. So we're gonna go have some nice coffee as well, more crucially, because that was gravy. And then we're just probably gonna go visit a couple of places that he wants to sort of show me, because he's a really cool guy. He's into fashion, all that sort of stuff. So I think it'd be kind of cool just to see what his take on London is. Sometimes when you work in this industry, whenever I do get booked to go down to London, I've always got a million and one things to do, so it'd be quite nice to actually just have a bit of a tour guide through Joe. And then ending off the day, I think about 2 PM and 3 PM, me and Joe were actually doing some stage work, and that is the main reason why we're actually going down to London today. So we're going to be doing Salon International. So yeah, it should be a really cool day. Some hair in there, some fashion, some coffee, all that good shit. So yeah, link up with us again when we get to the train station. But for now, crack on editing. Right, so we just got to London now, King's Cross. We're gonna go link up with Joe. I think he's sat somewhere. Hopefully we haven't lost him already before we've even found him. I'll let Joe go through the itinerary of the day, because to be fair, I'm kind of following his lead, like I said before. So we'll come back when we get to Joe. So cold, bro, literally. Yeah, I'll get over. Right. Alright, Trix. Yeah. You're all blessed. Yeah, not too shabby. This is Lou, by the way. So we are in Soho. We are in Soho, yeah. Stuart Little doesn't know, Yeah, so we're in Soho now. We're just gonna grab a quick coffee. We might have to cut a little bit of the start of the day down, so we'll just try and visit some cool spots on the way to the XL. But yeah, for now, let's load up with some coffee. And fingers crossed I'll be alive, because that 4:30 start has fucking ruined me. Right, so we're gonna just go check out Joe's spot, so where he works. So he works at a really cool shop called Supply 91. You guys might have seen him. I'll leave a little link in the description so you can have a little look for those guys that live in London. Go see my boy Joe and the rest of his team. And you've also got, what's the name of the Irish dude as well who works with you as well? Mikey. Fucking phenomenal hairdresser as well. He used to work for a mate of mine in Manchester, or just outside. But yeah, man, really cool aesthetic. And yeah, literally, come on through and we'll do a little montage of obviously his shop whilst we pick up a couple of bits, and then yeah. Have you got parquet flooring as well?
You what?
Your flooring, mate. Yeah, parquet flooring. This is literally what I want in my shop.
It does show hairs up quite easily, but I mean, it looks nice though.
It's a hair salon, bro. It's allowed, isn't it?
Yeah.
Man, it's beautiful. It's so nice and clean. I'm not sure whether you timed the cleaner coming in before, but that was perfect. That was perfect timing, bro.
So if I'm on stage, preferably best looking products, or does that not matter?
Don't matter. I'm not gonna lie, bro.
Is that gonna?
Nah, I'd be fine, bro. To be honest with you, what works. You might get given products, I would have thought, that'll probably have some behind the stage from previous people, because usually the sponsors leave some products out in the backstage bits. But to be honest with you, bro, whatever works. I mean, Evo's fucking beautiful products anyway. This is stunning. Yeah, like I said, 9 times out of 10, if it's not this, it's just the yellow glue.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? The hairspray, there got to be one. I mean, there's got to be, so it works, it works. Do you know what I mean? Like, how many times have you gone behind the scenes on a shoot and it's just like a sea of yellow, and it's either got to be fucking glue or it's got to be hairspray. Or fashion industry outward.
Yes, guys, I'm Joey Addison. We're here today at Supply 91 in Soho. This is where I'm based most days. I'm here with Ainsley today as well. Yeah, we actually met like maybe a year ago at a fashion show in London for Fashion Week. Basically want to just show you guys like the space, what we're about. We're big on aesthetic here and just kind of the details and like what products we use. Generally it's Oway, just organic. Definitely kind of on brand for what we kind of want to create. We've got like 3 floors here. Top floor we generally use for like photography work. Second floor we've got like 4 chairs, 3 chairs on the bottom floor, 7 chairs in total. It's a beautiful space and I just really want to kind of show it off to you guys. So yeah, let's do it.
So man, so like what's the product range that you're using?
So we use Oway in here, which is like an organic brand. It stands for Organic Way. It's Italian.
Never actually knew that.
Really, really good brand, mate. Like super sustainable. Like they make most of their products that they'll use ingredients in that they grow on site, on like in their farm in Bologna.
Cool,
all recycled glass as well. So
yeah, gonna say you can see the fact that they've actually got the amber bottles, because you see a lot of people as well. Again, like you know what we were talking about just a minute ago, where people use that sustainability as like a branding thing. People try and make this effect in like the amber plastics, and it's like it's not the same.
No,
like,
it's the real deal here, man. Yeah, we just thought it'd be like really on brand.
Yeah, and as well it matches the aesthetic.
Yeah, for sure, it's important, man.
It's just so happens too. Let's have a little look around the rest of the shop, because obviously, again, we were just talking about it briefly earlier. It's like it's just got so much space in here, bro. Like this bottom floor is nice and airy. It looks pretty, but how's it like in terms of functionality?
Yeah, well, one thing I do really love about this shop is these slanted mirrors, which actually have storage spaces like behind.
It's clever.
So
it's a really
I
good
haven't
use
really
of
seen that
space.
before, to be honest. So like the guys that run this place, they worked with this architect that basically drew up each shop. So every shop is just like bespokely designed.
Man, that's beautiful though.
Yeah,
it's nice as well when people actually put real thought into their spaces rather than it just being a bit of a out of a catalogue.
Yeah,
do some lime wash, like it's literally like it is properly done. Do you know what I mean? So it looks beautiful, man. Like, it's good aesthetic. And I noticed as well, you've got the Belmonts as well. Statement.
It's got to be done. It's like the Ferrari of the.
It literally is the Japanese Ferrari, man. Like literally, like as soon as somebody sees the fact that you got Belmonts, you know the fact that you're cooking with gas, mate. Like, I know what you mean. Even down as well, there's like little things as well, like obviously that coffee pot. I mean, is that actually vintage or is it just?
So the coffee pot actually is a new machine.
Right.
They make them to look.
Yeah, gonna say vintage, because I wasn't even joking either when I walked in and seen it. Like my granddad used to have something exactly the same as that, but with like an alarm clock on it. But literally, it takes me back, bro. It's nostalgia.
Man, they're absolute soldiers as well. It's been like every day, 7 days a week for like 2 years, and it's going really, like real strong.
Yeah. So. What are you? Is that a grinder as well?
No, man. Basically, just put like the ground coffee in this.
Yeah,
with
and
filter
then like
paper, and it just like comes up off here and then in.
Sick. Have we got a Supply 91 bean or?
Not yet.
Not yet. Coming soon. Yeah. I didn't even see as well the painting that's on there. Like, what's the story behind that?
So this painting at the top of the stairs, it's actually painted by one of the owner's dads.
Sick, man.
He's an artist based in Swansea.
That's beautiful, to be fair, man.
Yeah, man, proper nice. So he's actually got like some others in our other stores too.
I like this, man. There's like personality in the build.
Like,
literally, like I'm liking this, man. Yeah. Even like the fact that you've got like little nooks and stuff like that. Like, you haven't got a shit ton of space, but what you've done with it, or what the company's done with it anyway, but like the designers and stuff, like they've obviously thought like when you're waiting, you don't want to just be basically sat to the side or pushed to the side of a functioning shop. It's almost like you've got areas, like even turn this into a fucking coffee shop if you really wanted to. Like it gives me that kind of vibes. Do you know what I mean? Like it definitely works, man. And the more comfortable your client is whilst they're waiting, the more likely they are to spend time possibly money as well. Like, so from a business perspective, that's actually a really, really positive thing.
I think if you universally design a space, then you can just like kind of, it can be for like everyone.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
And then that way they can just sort of bring the personality through their haircutting. Do you know what I mean? Rather than, because you don't want it to be like, because I've sometimes when you go to shops and it's like the music's one person's personality. It's like whoever owns the shop is like, it's literally just like their personality projectile vomited like all over the shop. Like,
and that'll only work for a select
for
few.
one certain person, doesn't it? So you're essentially like alienating yourself against like a whole market out there. And to have this kind of like, it's still got personality, but at the same time, it's a blank canvas for those individuals and those creatives to actually come into the space and make it what it is. That's a nice touch, man. That's had thought put into it, man. Enough for me jabbering on. Talk to me about, what's it called, the rest of the spot.
Yeah, so we have 4 more chairs up here. 7 in total. Like a little hotel machine, always got drinks, going fridge.
That is a full fridge, man.
Like stacked every day.
That is a full fridge.
Yeah, man. We generally using, we were using the Dysons actually, but
you changed over.
Decided to change.
Any particular reason?
Do you know what? We just wanted more power from them. And they're great. They're the best designed on the market, but in my opinion, the power just goes
a little bit dead. Yeah. I do get that.
So,
you know, the new ones though.
Yeah.
So I've not actually had a look at what they're doing with the new ones, because the old one, don't get me wrong, it was great, but it literally falls off a cliff when it comes down to like about a year and a half. Literally, I have noticed that. It's like your buttons become a little sticky. Like, I'm just hoping that they've made it more for a professional rather than a consumer. Seeing as now all the professionals are now using them, do you know what I mean? Yeah. And there's one with the hose. I were a bit like sort of, why the fuck does it look like a hose? But I'm looking at it now and it actually makes sense, because it actually comes out on exactly the same angle. It's just a completely narrower unit. Yeah. But then when you come to longer hair, you're using your pinky and you blow drying like that. Like, it's just, there's something about having a barrel. Like, it feels right. Like,
hands on, like.
So and obviously we've got another staircase. 3 floors in Soho. Fucking serious. Show us have a little
TARDIS.
It actually is. This would be so good for shooting. Anybody who shoots hair, you know the fact that, especially in clipper work focus this, to be honest with you, if light comes up through the haircut and almost like underlights it, just looks stunning. So like literally to have that naturally kind of coming through there, like, and then as well you've got the ring light as well. It's a nice little space. Like, you can really sort of put out some decent content, and obviously when you look at your guys' Instagram, it shows. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, you got to make it as easy as possible. You know, especially if you're working in store, like on fully booked days. You know, you don't really have a lot of time to
take content. Unless you book it out. But like you say, if you're busy and you've got people needing appointments, you sadly like have to have that value of getting them sorted and patterning them up and that financial side, and then there's also that creative side of you that's like having a little fucking battle that's like, oh, do I? Nah, I've got to get him in. Like, it's one of those. To have this then upstairs already set up and ready, like, that makes a busy day every day a content day. Like, literally all you got to do is set up a phone on a tripod and get the ends up here. Like, that's valuable asset, to be honest with you.
That's the idea, man.
Yeah, man. What's this huge seat over here? This little vintage.
This was actually in.
What's that?
It was actually in an Aesop shop.
Is it?
Yeah, man. Yeah.
It's a chunky little bad boy. That it's giving me 80s vibes. That.
Yeah, man.
And the little ashtray.
It's pretty hefty.
All good chairs come with ashtrays. That's the truth.
You can tell it's an OG, right?
It's serious. Right, well, that is pretty much everything about Joe's shop and a nice little tour through. So, as you can see here, Joe's talking us through his favourite pub in London. And we forgot to put the microphones on, like a set of divvies. But yeah, he's basically talking us through the fact that this is a proper boozer. The moment that you see a name like the Devonshire, I felt like I was back at home, because to be honest with you, the Duke of Devonshire, that's our boy. That is a name you can trust. So to be honest with you, I hope there's no history depicting that any form of Duke of Devonshire has done any form of wrongdoing to anybody, because otherwise I'm going to look like a lemon. But it is definitely a proper pub. Like, the moment that you see lights like that and green tiles outside, and like I say, a homely name called the Devonshire. Definitely one to pick out because at the time I actually wasn't drinking, so to be honest with you, we didn't actually get to really indulge on this one. And to be honest with you, I don't really condone drinking before you get on stage. It's always not a good idea. So we just made it to the XL in London for Salon International. So what we're going to do is we're just going to basically check in the both of us, go have a look around a couple of stores, a couple of other little spots. I'm going to have a little chat as well with one of my dear friends who got me onto Leaf, the owner. That should be a nice interesting chat, and he'll just explain as well what his brand is and what it's all about. We're also going to be doing some stage work with Grid Studios, which is a social media company. And then, who are you doing your stuff with?
Modern Barber stage with Tony McCarthy.
So it's a pretty exciting day. Probably going to get some models prepped, so we're definitely going to be having a little run through with that, and then we'll sort of just montage it all and probably have a fucking very chaotic 2 hours, to be honest with you. And
No doubt.
Yeah. So yeah, as soon as we've got that all done, we'll sort of come back and we'll regroup.
Right guys, so we're going to go over to Grind Studios. Joe's just gone off to go prep his model. We're pretty much ready to go now. So I've just been over to the Leaf Inn. We're going to have a little conversation with Steve later on. But for the meantime, got a nice little gown, keeping branding, and a little bit of pink to make the girls fucking wink. It's a nice little gift from our guys at Leaf. So yeah, we'll have a little chat with the owner of Leaf later on. But for now, we're just going to basically go over to Grind. Stay tuned for that bit, and yeah, follow me through this tutorial and the shoot. Come on through. Right man, so as we're looking through this haircut, we can see the fact that we've got a couple of little areas that we need to sort of take into consideration. We've obviously got this little area down here that's kind of shaven out. So instead of seeing that and just being like, oh fuck, there's no hair, let's actually look at that as an opportunity for doing something pretty creative. So what we're going to do is we're actually going to run something in that sort of like 90s inspired curtain look. We're going to create a little bit of volume and texture through the back. So we can see at the moment the back of the hair, this layer here and this length here, they're not too dissimilar in the sense of weight and length, but there's a couple as well little areas that are just slightly longer and shorter. So really what we want to do is actually go with this shorter length here and sort of marry that up with a nice bit of squareness. We're going to take an ever so slight little area here down and just create a slightly more powerful outline. So from front to back we keep that fluidity and a bit of a kick out here, and then just something that runs through behind. So again, we're keeping something essentially quite familiar for him, but at the same time, if he really wanted to go out there and create something like a little bit more creative in terms of styling, then obviously he can do that as well, but also making sure that this comes back and it's a livable style. It's all well and good doing something creative for a show or for a shoot, but at the end of the day, if you actually do something that the client isn't going to be able to live with, they ain't fucking coming back to you. Simple as that. And it's all well and good doing things on show day, but obviously with this client, he actually does want to live with his hair. I'm not going to do him dirty and just shave half of a panel off, basically. So as promised, we're here with the owner of Leaf, and what we're going to be doing is just having a little chat with him about basically what the brand is. So obviously you guys have heard me speak a lot about the brand, but I'd like you guys to actually hear it from the horse's mouth itself. Yeah. Just have a little chat about what Leaf is, what we've got coming up next, and cool. Yeah, just anything that you want to really share. Great.
I'll give you that as well.
Thanks, Ainsley. So yeah, so Leaf as a brand is a tool brand, scissor brand predominantly, designed for hairdressers, by hairdressers. I'm a hairdresser myself for the last 24 years, and I wanted to create a tool brand which did a couple of key things. So number one, we're made from high quality Japanese steel. All of our tools that you see are. Number two, they're all focused on ergonomics. So we really made sure that it's about how long a hairdresser or barber can cut hair for. Number three, they are affordable, and that was key for us. We wanted to be high quality but at an obtainable price. The scissor market is overinflated price,
So we wanted to enter at a point where it's really comfortable for lots of people. And then most importantly, number 4 is, and the last one I promise, number 4, we have a sustainability mission. So for each and every single item that we sell, we plant 10 trees. We planted 165,000 to date, and our mission is to get to 1 million.
It's definitely a brand that, I mean, I first came into contact with Leaf through obviously Charlie and the Hair and Motion team.
Yeah.
Obviously I'd seen little drips and drabs about the actual tree planting and stuff like that. What's quite nice, obviously getting to know you and the brand a little bit more. Sustainability nowadays is a very much a marketing tool. So when a brand can have a little bit more transparency, and you can see the fact that they're working with reputable companies as well, like the Eden Forestation, to actually plant the trees, it's nice to know the fact that you're actually doing something sustainable, rather than somebody just giving you the buzzword of it. You've obviously said like there are certain elements that you wanted to change, even like the packaging now as well, like, and how that sort of come through. Like, it's nice to see that you're constantly progressing, and this brand keeps on being in the hands of more and more and more and bigger names. I don't want to name drop, but there's some scissors that I bought when I was younger, because I saw, like, you know, my boss Robert Eaton, he used to have a pair, and I remember they were like £1,500. But is it worth that huge jump in price point? I don't think it is. I've been using mine now for like years, somewhere around that area, and to be fair, I've literally only got the PS Steels, and that's the one I've sharpened them once, and they're lasting exactly the same amount of time. And it's got to a point now where, like, you didn't even need to ask me to sort of phase my Casios out. It was more as in, it just naturally ended up progressing into that manner. And that's one of those things where sometimes, especially when you get involved with brands, it's nice when you're the one actually gravitating to want to change towards it, rather than just doing something because the brand's telling you. Exactly. So yeah, man, it's been a pleasure obviously working with you so far, and obviously thank you for having me aboard, and thank you for taking the time with us as well.
Thank you.
So that's everything from Leaf Scissors. Obviously go check their website out as well. We'll leave a little link underneath, and I'm sure there'll be a couple of little deals as well coming up soon. So yeah, we'll see you soon, man. Thanks for the time, bro.
Appreciate it
very much, bro.
Thank you.
So once again, we forgot to put the microphone on, probably due to the fact that we've been up for about 14 hours. We were absolutely knackered at this point, and we were just saying our byes and wrapping up the video. So we just wanted to say a massive thank you to Leaf Scissors, who came and had a chat to us, Grid Studios as well, for obviously getting me on stage with those guys, Modern Barber Mag, and especially to this man Joe as well. Like, honestly, really good day out and a top guy. So please go check out his Instagram and the guys at Supply 91, because honestly it's a beautiful shop, and the trims actually do represent what that shop is, what it looks like. So definitely go check them out, and I'll leave all of the links for everybody that was involved in the bio, so go and check those guys out. And more crucially, please give us a subscribe, because it helps us grow this channel, and the more that we grow, the more cool things that we can really do, and we can go and visit more and more sort of things within the industry, and also within the fashion industry as well. So yeah, drop us a subscribe. Thank you so much for watching, and lots of love, and we'll see you in the next one.